Alright guys, today I have I Can Still Remember number 4, Why 12th Planet is a Legend. So at this point in time, still nobody knows who I am in the dance music world. All that Mad Decent music had not come out yet. And in the beginning, all you want is to earn the respect of, like the big DJs and to have the big DJs like start playing your tunes and stuff like that. So that's where I'm at. And I get onto this festival in Dallas called Lights All Night. No one really shows up to my set, but I'm still super stoked to be just in the artist area. I'm just walking around trying to like bump into like Skrillex or Flux Pavilion or like one of these, famous guys. And I see this trailer that's packed. So I like weasel my way in there and I see the 12th Planet is there. He's, rolling deep as always. And it's perfect because I knew that he knew my manager. So I walk up, introduce myself. He daps me up. I leave. I'm not trying to take up this man's time. The whole thing lasted like 30 seconds. And I'm like, all right, cool. That was cool. So I go home. I'm living in Miami. And my manager calls me and he's like, yo, I'm really glad you met John. He is in Miami right now because he's got Holy Ship tomorrow. You should hit him up. And I was like, oh, yeah, no, like, we didn't, like, that would be weird. We're not really friends. Like, we just, it was like a 2-second thing. No big deal. And he's like, no. Here's his phone number. I told him to expect your call. So you have to call him. So I'm like, oh, fuck. Okay. So I text him thinking like, probably like, oh, he'll see like a random number. He'll probably just ignore it. No big deal. But he hits me back right away. He's like, yo, we're at this bar on South Beach. It's going to be sick. Come, bring whoever. It's going to be dope. So I'm like, fuck. Okay, so I got to go. And I don't think this dude remembers me. I think he's just being nice. Probably doesn't expect me to show up. But the last thing I want to do is show up and be that guy that's like, check out my SoundCloud, whatever. But I go. He daps me up again, like very, very polite. But there's like 30 people there. Again, he's rolling deep. If you know John, like he isn't just being nice. He genuinely has like real friends everywhere. Just an awesome dude. But there's 30 guys. It seems like everyone is trying to kind of get FaceTime with him. And like I said, I don't want to be that guy. So my plan was I'm just gonna kind of stick around. And as the group gets smaller, like late into the night, maybe I'll just kind of naturally, organically actually get some time with them and we'll get to know each other, whatever. So we're at the first bar, we go to the second bar, third bar, we're drinking more, fourth bar, we start to go to clubs, like nice clubs, and they're rolling out the red carpet for John. He's like famous, DJ, and he's like outside the club, like riding for the gang, like homie number 27 in the back has athletic shoes and they're trying to not let him in because of dress code, and John's like making a scene, like he's like, we're not going if he's not getting in, like, and I'm like, you don't know me, do you know this kid? Like, but John didn't care. Like, man, it's wild. So we start going to clubs, like the nicest spots in South Beach, and it gets super late. The group is getting smaller and smaller. Fast forward to like 10 in the morning the next day, we're just looking for like the last bar open down there, and we find this shitty spot. I'm like just a mess. He somehow looks like fresh out the shower, obviously, and I'm sitting at the bar waiting for like the next round of shots, like barely alive, and the sun is up, and he comes up to me, he puts his arm around me, he's like, yo, like, tonight's been sick, right? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, yo, we're like really cool now, right? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, all right, cool. But who are you? Like this whole time, this man like answered text from the stranger, invited him out, brought me everywhere, got me into these like clubs with tables and bottles, bought me drinks all night. And it's like, it's him and like some of his, probably just like his close friends now and me. And he's like, this whole time he's been that nice. Didn't know who I was at all. And when I told him, I was like, oh, I'm like Dex's boy, like Herobust. And he was like, yo, you made that Knife Party remix? And you made this song and you like, She Knows She Bad? And so he like grabbed the group and like reintroduced me as like this new up and coming artist. And I'm watching 12 tell Scream that he needs to listen to my music. Like I'm with like dubstep royalty in there. And every time I think of John, it just reminds me of that story. Like, and everybody has a story like that about John. He's just such a dope dude. And yeah, I'm thankful to have a story like that. I'm thankful to have a friend like that. And that is number 4, why 12th Planet is a legend.